Good. I think we're almost free. The
Yeah.
session is live. It's been
Okay.
streamed on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I'll start with congratulating you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Interesting, inspirational story actually. Nowadays we are getting freshers, but getting above 6 lakhs. You have a 7 LPA is
Yeah.
isn't that easy to crack. So you did that. So congratulations for that.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Right. Good. So we'll start. Hello everyone. Um, I'm Ashok Veda. Have Impana with me. She has cracked the data science career as a data analyst, I guess. What's your role, Impana?
Sir, it's Data Automation Analyst.
Right. So she cracked this, and today we are here to learn from her success. And nowadays, as you know, getting a 7 LP as a fresher isn't a small thing. So definitely, I hope there is something we can learn from Impana in this session. Impana, so we'll start with a quick introduction of yours. Just give a brief introduction of your profile first.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. And I'm Impana. And I'm also very excited to share my success story with you all today. So I recently secured a role as a data automation analyst at Simplotel, which is a service-based company at Bangalore. So I have even got a package of 7 LPA. As a fresher, it's more likely a dream to be come true, getting a 7 LPA as a fresher. And while starting your career, getting this salary is pretty decent job. And also, it's been an exciting journey from being a learner to getting to becoming a professional analyst. So I'd like to take you through my journey, like. How all I prepared for all the mock interviews and even the client interviews. I would like to share all the things
Right.
I know.
Wonderful. So we'll start with your profile, Impana. So what was your graduation? What was specialization? Uh,
Yeah, I actually completed my Bachelor's of Engineering in Computer Science from Malnad College of Engineering, which is in Hassan, Karnataka. So I graduated in 2024. Actually, this year I have graduated, and I joined date like since my college days also. I was like we were just there was brief topics on AI and data science, so I'm not new to these topics. So but I just wanted a deep learning through these topics, so I decided to join DataMites. Actually, I even researched many institutes to learn data science and AI and all. So one of my cousins suggested me to join this, and even I reviewed all the Google reviews, and it was pretty good in DataMites. So I decided to join here.
okay, before we jump in there, I'm more interested to understand how did you land up thinking about data science, right? So of course you're
Yeah,
from computer science, right?
yeah. Yeah, like as I mentioned, I was not new to topics like data science, AI, or ML since I was since I was a graduate from computer science in my bachelor's, so I was not new to these topics. So, but I've always been fascinated, like the power of data, how we uncover the insights, and we use those algorithms and all. It's just like if you are more interested in data science, you can just play around with the algorithms, so that it can never bore you. So like this curiosity, like this led me to pursue a course at DataMites in data science, and I'm also currently pursuing. I've not yet completed my AI and ML engineer course. So before complete, I just completed my data scientist course here. So like yeah, the training program, it was all included with it, covered all the essentials like Python. They actually started from scratch, the Python programming and machine learning techniques, and coming to the data visualization and even the data automation techniques. And even after completing the course, we were even assigned to the project. So that was the major role, where even though all you can sit at one place and study all those things, when you put it into some practical insights, that's when you get to learn the
The,
techniques you have learned through.
the phase three project phase is very
Yeah,
very
yeah, it was very crucial.
crucial. All right,
Yeah,
good. So you're already inclined towards data science or data analyst because you love finding insights. At least you're curious about finding insights from the data, which I
yeah,
am too. So it's more like addiction. I keep on working with data for no reason. Sometimes there is no business value, but finding insights looks like solving a puzzle, isn't it? That
yeah.
itself. So if you enjoy it, then you probably already have that innate data science skill, which is actually the most important thing, right? So you have Python knowledge before joining DataMites, isn't it? You have a bit of
Yeah. Yeah, I was pretty good at even at my college in Python programming. So even all my projects were in my college days. Also, all my projects were based on Python and ML projects only. I had also covered. So I was not good. I was not new to Python programming.
so
Uh,
the statistics journey.
Sorry, sir. It was not. It was not.
Did you find it difficult? How was the statistics?
Yeah, actually, coming to the statics, even though I was not new to this Python programming AI/ML part, but the statistics was kind of new topics. So, coming to those math, it was more of mathematical formulas, or where you get to apply those formulas in a coding language. So that was pretty difficult. So, even though it was difficult, I just managed my time. Even though you, after listening to classes, you'll will have to sit at one place, and we'll have to study all those, referring to those videos again, or referring any other online sources.
Correct. How much time you spend on a daily basis? It was about 4 to 5 months theory classes, isn't it?
Yeah, sir. Actually, I'm not like a person to study daily. So on, like whenever I completed my classes, I actually joined for weekend offline classes. So all those 2 days, whatever was taught, I was just going through, like before attending the classes, 2 to 3 days before, I would just sit at one place and I would go through all the topics in a brief. And I also used to note whatever the topics were taught in the class, and I used to note the key points, taking a book and a pen. So
Yes.
that helped me more so that I can revise the concepts on which I had some doubts. I referred to even YouTube videos, and yeah, coming to ChatGPT, it was of great help. And even I went through these lectures. I was provided with recorded online sessions also. So I went through it when I found it hard.
Yeah. So essentially, your point is learning from a different sources. So whenever you have a difficulty understanding a concept, you read
Yeah,
YouTube,
yeah,
ChatGPT, and okay.
yeah. Like sticking to one source may not be very helpful in some topics. So we'll have to we'll have to go through some other online resources also. It may be of great help.
Okay, wonderful. So, once you completed your um, the theory part of it, what we called as phase two, phase
Yeah.
three, did you do with the team members or did you do it alone?
I No, actually, I did it with the team members. Like even though we had, like I was assigned to a great team at my internship. So all we were a team of four. So all were very helpful. Like we all divided the task. And on one project, I had worked on my own. So all the even coming to the other projects also, we all shared our works, and we constantly kept in contact. Through WhatsApp groups, and we even held meetings sometimes. So we divided the task so that we could submit those projects within the deadline. So we were given almost 15 to 20 days to
Okay,
complete a project and submit it. So we all divided the task so that none of the part was left out within the deadline. We could submit everything with great accuracy also.
wonderful. I mean, not many teams do that. So you
Yeah.
guys work virtually or you're catching up in the Datamites office? How was it?
No, no. Actually, we all are from different regions, so we just made some WhatsApp groups, and that's it.
That's even interesting. So you essentially virtually
Yeah,
work together. All right. But you're from a physical classroom batch, isn't it?
yeah, sir.
From Bangalore? Are you from Bangalore batch?
Yes, I'm from Bangalore batch.
Oh, okay, cool. So after you have done the projects, what was your live project, by the way? Have you done a live project? Is it?
Yes, actually, we undertook four projects, like the flight price prediction and liver, like those kind of all the machine learning related data science projects, and we completed we completed our course around June end, I think. Like after that, within August. Mid, we actually submitted two projects so that we could attend the placements. So we were told that after completing any two projects, we were able to attend the placements and all. So after completing two projects, we just applied to placements and attended. And I'm actually very happy to say this. Like this was my first interview to attend through placement team. So even though I received a lot of opportunities, so this was the first interview that was scheduled, and I got placed in my first interview only. So I'm very happy about that.
Actually,
I'm sorry, sir, you are not audible.
is, is my voice clear now? Is my voice clear? Impana?
Hello.
Yeah. So, Bangalore, we have a problem with internet recently.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, sir, sure.
Okay, I'm not sure if it is my side or your side, but
Yeah, I just changed my network.
me too. I did the same. All right, good. So, I'm really happy that you cracked the first interview. Well, I don't have a questions to ask about your failures though,
Yeah,
but but we have a lot of people who are attending fourth, fifth round, seventh round. So I
yeah,
really appreciate the placement team of DataMites. There is no limitation as such. People attend even 10 job interviews as well, and still we continue to do that, right?
yeah.
You actually help the placement team. So if in your case you cracked, because I think at least few hundred interviews happen from DataMites placement team on a daily basis, right? And very rarely people crack in the first round, and that too being a fresher and with this kind of. So could you share your interview experience? How was what was the questions asked? How was it?
Yeah, so like, but personally, I would like to thank the placement team. Actually, you have an excellent placement team, especially Hari Krishnan sir. He actually kept in, like, he was in touch with me with every round. Actually, he guided me like these kind of questions would be asked. Just prepare yourself. So he was in touch with me. Like all the placement team, like it was great working with them throughout my interview process. All and coming to the technical questions and all, uh, in my actually, the first round was just the introduction part. So I didn't have much technical questions in my first round. So then we actually had total of 5 rounds in my interview process. So there were total 5 rounds, where the last 2 rounds was more like the HR round and the CEO round. And coming to the second and third round was technical round. So coming to the technical questions, they actually asked me questions related to data automation, like even the ETL methods, and how we are able to handle large data sets, and the theory questions like difference between supervised and unsupervised learning, and how data pre-processing techniques are being used, and they even asked me the projects I have worked on, and yeah, and also the ETL methods and how I implemented those in my projects. And coming to Python programming, there was more of OOPS concept. So it in any interview, so OOPS concept is the major one. Then like the coding part, they asked me some questions like printing random numbers and creating class and adding objects to those, and reversing a string, then finding largest elements in a list, and removing some duplicate elements. and also some theory questions also related to Python, like difference between tuple list.
Yes.
So, and coming to the SQL part, like creating a database, and they specified some constrictions. So I had to extract some employees with largest salary and lowest salary. So more of these technical questions, and coming to the HR round, there was more like personalized questions, like just the casual ones, like how would I like to see myself in the next 3 or 5 years, and
Right. Just want to see what kind of ambitions you have.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Regarding machine learning, what kind of questions they asked in machine learning?
Yes, in machine learning, they asked more of theory questions, like differences between unsupervised learning and
Okay.
supervised learning. Then they also asked me to explain any algorithm of my choice. So that was more of beneficial to me. So I actually explained about decision tree algorithm.
Okay.
Uh, Covering all how decision tree algorithm are implemented, where it is implemented, what are the advantages of using this algorithm over any other algorithm, and also the disadvantages. So I completed all from the introduction to the conclusion. Also, I
You-
explained about decision tree algorithm, and they asked how I implemented machine learning algorithms in my project. So, what were the uses of using those algorithm, and why did you prioritize using those algorithm over any other algorithm? So, like NumPy, Pandas, and all.
mhm.
Um, and also, like they also asked about outliers also. So, how do we handle those outliers? And
Data processing is actually very vital.
yeah,
So outlier analysis is one of the key things. So it's interesting that you chose a basic decision tree algorithm, and
yeah.
it's about how confident are you. Have they asked anything in the project side? Because you have obviously put some projects in your resume, isn't it?
Yes, I actually explained about my flight price prediction project, where I used mainly the XGBoost model, and we also used hyperparameter tuning to get the uh, best accuracy. So we got almost 87 to 90% of accuracy in that project after working. And also the feedback I received from the PAT team was great. So from the career team. So it was great after working through all those feedback, like the errors we made in that project. So we kept on working on those, and finally we almost acquired 87% of accuracy. So I explained about the flight price prediction project, and apart from that, I even worked on other 3, 4 projects during my college days also. So
Correct.
I even explained about those projects. Yeah,
Very good. Um, I'm sure placement team would have kept the record of these questions being asked in the interview. What I
yeah,
particularly find interesting is that they even asked you about the object oriented, like class and other things, which
yeah,
is
yeah. Coming to the Python programming, OOPS concept would be basic. So in any interview, like OOPS concept would be very important. So
so for you it will be easy because you're coming from computer science
yeah,
background.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So maybe Shali from PAT team or whoever is in the PAT team in this call, make a note. Maybe you should conduct. Maybe you should ask the others about this, and if it is needed, OOPS concepts only takes a few hours maybe to do it. So the maybe revision class for others will be helpful. Very good. Impana, when are you joining? Are you already joined?
So actually, it's from Monday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you are from Bangalore? Are you from Bangalore?
No, sir. Actually, I currently live in Hassan, Karnataka, but I do have a house in Bangalore.
So you have to travel back probably tomorrow, I guess, right?
Yeah, I'll be traveling tomorrow.
Okay, but you've been here studying, so I think Bangalore is not new for you, right?
Yeah.
Good. All right. So, one last thing. I mean, there are lots of people who go to the interviews, but they couldn't clear. I'm pretty sure a couple of your friends from the DataMites themselves would have failed in certain interviews. You would have seen from your batches, right? If and all they have done. What do you think which made you success? What's the difference, right? Can you just explain what are your success factors and how others can assimilate it?
So actually, like the main thing I observed was when I started attending the interview, they went through my profile and they actually also asked about their own company questions with me, so
Mm,
that they ensured that I have researched about the company and I showed interest in the job profile. So I've soon after I received the mail from Simplotel, I actually reviewed their website and I went through the work done by them and what work has my job to do.
mm,
So, like before each interview, like I made sure to thoroughly research the company website so that I can understand the job requirements. So for Simplotel interview, I focused on their approach to the data-driven solutions, so that how to show my skills to contribute to their projects. And also like the fundamental, yeah, as I mentioned, this Python programming and the ML basics concept. So in ML and OOPS concept and all, there are more of theory questions rather than programming.
mm.
So they don't like in my interview, they didn't ask much to apply any algorithms and that all. They just asked more of theory questions. So having a strong foundation at the fundamentals is very useful rather than concentrating on much complex things.
Right. Yeah.
So it takes much time understanding that, but we can eventually understand once we have basic strong foundation in the fundamentals.
Correct.
uh, yeah, and also attending the mock interview at from the PAT team also helped me a lot. I got the feedback on like
Areas of
which
improvement, right?
concepts I had to concentrate more. So I received a lot of help from the PAT team.
Yeah.
And also like when I think we need to have the clear picture of what we have worked on. They especially asked about the projects we have worked on, so that we worked on our own on those projects. So we have to get a clear picture of our projects on the works we have done.
Okay. Just to summarize, you have referred many sources, including ChatGPT, YouTube, for learning
Yeah, yeah,
concepts.
yeah,
And then you have done the projects very seriously along with your team. You also divided your tasks,
yes,
you completed that. And when you
yeah,
went to the interview, you prepared well about what kind of job role, what the company does. And these are the points which you think which helped you to crack this interview. Is that correct?
yeah, yeah, sir.
Wonderful. So I fully agree and agree with Impana on this. Essentially, sometimes we ask difficult questions. I take my own colleagues, ML engineers in my company. Sometimes we will ask questions like, "Hey, can you explain the objective function of support vector machine?" The idea is that even I don't remember, by the way, nowadays. So I used to like in 6 7 years before, but I don't remember the objective function of support vector machine. The idea is to test the confidence, right? A
Yeah,
person who has done the project, who has actually, in the end-to-end project, who have confidence, will simply say that, oh, I didn't know, I know how to apply support vector machine. I don't remember the objective function, but given a chance, I can understand and decode it if necessary. That is the kind of answer we expect. Um,
yeah,
Not that really someone remembers the objective function of every machine learning algorithm. In fact, nowadays, if you look
yeah,
at it, the work has become more abstract. I would say 90% of the work is 80 90% work on the data side and data preparation side, right? ML algorithm, deploying them, fine tuning them is actually 20% or sometimes 20 to 30%. So, as you said, Impana, it's more important to have a good understanding of SQL, Python, which helps you to prepare the data, statistical concepts, and then, of course, good knowledge on deploying machine learning. And more importantly, preparing for the interview, as you said, I would take that point as a very crucial point. Many people go with a generic knowledge when they
yeah,
ask about, hey, what do you know about a company? They'll say something, but that that looks stupid, right? So some people say, honestly, I did not look into it. That already shows that you're attending many interviews and you're not really focused. So one of the most important point I take from Pana is studying about the company. If I'm
yeah.
hiring a person as my colleague, I would really love to hire someone who is interested in my company, not just look this company as a starting stepping stone or stuff like that, right? Good. So
Yes.
perfect. So I have a lot of people on this call and also in the other channels. Let's open up for the questions.
Yeah, sure.
Shali, placement team from DataMites, if you are online, yeah, you are online, I can see you. So look at the other channels, LinkedIn and YouTube, and see if there are any questions or comments coming for us. And here I have three. One question from the attendee from here itself. How do you prepare your resume? Did DataMites help you in resume preparation? I think yes.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. I even got help from the PAT team also. Like once after I created my resume, the PAT team asked me to get a to send a copy of my resume. They asked me to add some details, and also, yeah, they even helped me to create the resume.
Okay, good. Question from Tejaswini. What materials did you use to prepare for interview? I think you mentioned, maybe you can repeat. And the second part of the question is, did you get any material from DataMites placement team?
Yeah, like while preparing for certain job, like I received number of opportunities from the PAT team. Like not only to one restricted job, all the jobs were more related to data science. So the when the materials received to other job, I also referred those to this interview also. So I don't like to keep any one thing restricted only to that kind of work. So rather you can refer, if it is useful, we can refer that materials also to other interviews. Also, actually the great thing is like I actually went through this in Instagram actually. Like when you copy paste the job description and the job requirements in ChatGPT, you actually get a set of questions that are more likely to be asked in interview. So actually, I even got 2 to 3 questions in that also. And yeah, I even refer the YouTube videos, and also I had got great help from the PAT team. They even provided me with the set of interview questions also.
Correct. So PAT team provides, there is a document which has interview questions and some other tips and things.
Yeah.
You can refer that. But I agree more with Impana. Don't be very restrictive. If you're, you can use ChatGPT. I'm a very big proponent of ChatGPT. I'm amazed at how helpful it is.
Yeah,
Uh,
sir.
so if I didn't know this, but I now picked up from Impana, copy pasting the job description and asking ChatGPT to frame the questions. And you can keep on
Yeah, like
asking, frame
the
more
job
questions.
requirements and descriptions. We get the questions that are more likely to be asked in interview. I even got some 3 questions also.
That's interesting. See, why this happens. Your interviewer is also using ChatGPT, so that is why it happens. So, I mean, normally what happens is I take interviews for many Fortune 100 companies as well, including PayPal. I made a team of 20 data scientists for PayPal 4 5 years ago. PayPal Global. So one of my roles is to create a team. So I am expected to take interviews. It's a very critical team for them. So they don't want anyone bypassing technical team without properly validated. So even I use ChatGPT in many cases nowadays, right? Because you just can't come up with the question. It's equally difficult to come up with the questions as answering. So we use
Yeah.
ChatGPT. So if you practice with ChatGPT, there is a very high chance that you get similar questions that actually can work. Okay, I have many questions coming in. One more question. How many mock interviews you attended? Oh, okay. So DataMites will, if you fail in first mock interview, you conduct further, right? Did you pass in the first one itself?
No, actually, sir, there are 2 mock interviews I attended. Actually, in the first mock interview, I was a bit unwell, so I couldn't prepare well for the first one. But actually, soon after getting a low score in my first mock interview, I requested them rather than waiting. Like the PAT team has a policy of attending. Like if you fail the first mock interview, you have to wait for 1 month.
I mean, recently put that. That's true.
Yeah, I actually requested them to schedule me an interview as soon as possible. Since due to my health issues, I was unable to prepare for my first mock interview. So when I requested, they provided me the second mock interview within 50 days, 15 days.
Okay.
Yeah, within 15 days, I was provided with the second mock interview, and in the second mock interview, I cleared actually.
So there are certain rules we follow just to make sure that we have limited resource. Mock interviews are conducted by real experts. So there's a pipeline of, and our
Yeah.
data might work really hard. But yeah, for deserving candidates, and if there is a reason that, like what you provided, people are always flexible. I have a question from
Yeah.
Ameya Divati. Did they ask you about the OOPS coding part or just the theory in the interview? Did they ask you to code or the theory part of it?
No, like when coming to the OOPS, it's more of a theory part rather than programming. We just apply the OOPS concept in Python programming, but I don't think there is a coding part in OOPS. It's just more of theory concept.
Okay, that's clear. And I'm not sure if we have a detailed OOPS in our syllabus. That's what when you told, because I'm also in the content review committee. I just did a review last quota. So I'll try to include more of the OOPS concepts. I don't know
Yeah.
if it is there as of now. I doubt it because last time when I looked at it, there is not much of OOPS in Python in the DataMites syllabus, right? But we can
Yes.
always connect the extra classes for others, and for the new batches, we can start including that. I will do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a question from Murtaja Alam. Uh, Good evening, sir. Get this video. Okay, so she says it's very informative. So, Murtaja, this is actually a live, so you can find it in YouTube. And also, you can ask a link of this Zoom. They will provide it, but it is in live YouTube and as well as LinkedIn. So, you can always refer. Okay. A question from James. What are the challenges you face while doing your project? I'm currently doing my project. So, okay. So, James is currently doing project with DataMites. He's a current student. So, he's asking what are the challenges you have faced?
Yeah. So, like while working on the projects, like coming to machine learning projects, there's actually very low challenges actually. Like get even the data sets. There's a vast website for data science. But when coming to applying the algorithms and getting the preferred accuracy, that's the major part where we'll have to enact all our technical skills and the coding skills so that we can minimize the errors and maximize the accuracy, right? So that's where I faced a big challenge. So in the, yeah, as mentioned in my flight price prediction project, in the initial stage when we submitted the project, it was not up to the preferred accuracy. So after receiving the feedback, they asked us to implement the hyperparameter tuning so that we can get the best accuracy rate. So yeah, like that implementing those algorithms into the project practically, so that would be a major challenge where we'll have to focus and do it properly.
Good. So I agree with Impana on that. In addition to that, it's also important to understand the features, the
Yeah.
inputs variable you take. We call as features, uh, predictors, right? The business knowledge is very helpful in it. So sometimes it's not just the algorithm. Algorithm might give you 5 to 10% maximum the improvement in your things. Sometimes the input variables itself, predictors, for example. So if you take few steps back and look at the project from a very business perspective and understand what exactly the model is trying to learn and what data we have, can we combine certain variables or generate a new variable or transform a certain variable, that kind of will give you way above improvement if and all you find something, right? In the real projects we do for live deliveries, for us it is more, we don't get it like what we do in your assignments or small projects. Usually it is a
Yeah.
business case, and then we have to find the variables by ourselves. So basically people will tell, okay, these are the variables we are capturing from the business, these are here, these are in some database, and whatnot. And from there, 50 to 60% of our difficulty is actually understanding what variables make sense and are they in a right format. So that is the most important challenge of any projects when you do in life, and about 10 to 15% finding the right algorithm and fine tuning them, right?
Yeah.
Good. So I have many questions now. Okay, let's start little fast. Can you please give me some tips how to explain about projects in interview? Think you have done enough? You want to add anything to that?
Yeah, so like it's just we'll have to be clear about the projects we have done, all the algorithms. We just can't lie about any algorithms and all. We'll just have to get a clear picture of all the algorithms we have used. So when a recruiter is asking questions, he'll be aware of basic algorithms that are used in those projects. Like while coming to the flight price prediction, we obviously have to plot graphs, so matplotlib and numpy pandas. So these are the basic algorithms we'll use. So answering to these basic questions should not be a difficulty, I think.
Okay, wonderful. I like the point. As you said, don't lie.
Yeah,
Most of the interviews actually you fail. Maybe you actually answered 70% questions right, but when you lie on something, it is easily discovered.
yeah,
Because when we do a lot of we do hundreds, thousands of interviews. So when someone says something, we quickly know whether it is actually true. Sometimes, even if it is a stupid answer or the approach you have taken is not really correct, being really honest helps you,
yeah.
because this is a very changing field. Whatever you know now, maybe next year it all redundant, right? You might do relearn again. What's more important is the attitude. So being brutally honest actually helps you a lot in interviews. Thank you, Impana, for that.
Yes.
Uh, I have Kritika Das. What are the chances of work from home job as data scientist? I'll take it. Uh, Kritika, there are jobs, right? There are a lot of companies, especially I know a lot of startups in US and Europe. I work with them. So they wanted people from India because it's very difficult to get data scientists over there. And of course, it's really, really expensive. In India, we have a lot of freelance data scientists. Someone like Impana, if she wants to become a freelancer, she'll be a great data scientist working in a freelance projects, right? Or sometimes they set up a small back office over here and they'll ask people to work from home, right? So yes, there are a lot of chances of work from home, but I personally suggest to not to really go for work from home jobs, at least if it is possible. And 80% of the jobs are expecting people to be on the premises nowadays. But having said that, there is always, at least for data scientists, there is a scope for work from home jobs. Which channel follow YouTube interview preparation? Do you have any preference? This is from Nikhil. Any channels you
Not
recommend?
like any preferences. I would just go with the views. Like there would be views, highest number of views. So I would just go with the number of views a particular video has.
Okay, so we have collected about 10 channels. I think it's DataMites have that list. I'll ask them to post it in LinkedIn or send it across to you, Nikhil. There are some brilliant channels. You don't talk about implementation and stuff. It's on the basics, mathematics. There are brilliant channels on it with a very graphical representation. I will share them. In fact, when I learned in 2015, 2016, these are the channels I learned myself as well. So I'll share them. I'll ask people to put it somewhere in the LinkedIn or maybe send it to you. I have a question from Joy Kenneth. Would you like? I would like to request a certificate. Okay, no problem, Kenneth. You'll get that. This is not a webinar, by the way. Success story. For a data science project, which approach would be more beneficial? Working alone or collaborating with the team? Impana, what do you say?
So I think collaborating with the team would be more beneficial. Like data science projects, they require a vast time actually to complete it alone. So I think a team would be more beneficial. Like I do have some concepts which I don't understand once after looking, even after researching also. When you get some, like when somebody makes you understand it more effectively so that you can also get the other person's ideas. So I think working with a team is more beneficial according to me.
Okay, I fully agree. In fact, if you work in a team, you can delegate works, and in interviews, people will ask you about it, right? What part you handled? How did you collaborate with the team? It
Yeah,
usually,
yeah, actually, I do remember one related questions. Like when I said that I worked with a team, they even asked about like what when a person disagrees to some certain queries. So how do you make that person understand like your approach is right? So how do you? It's more like the leadership qualities questions. So yeah, even that was asked.
correct. So you'll not be alone in projects if you're working in a big
Yeah.
companies. So it will be usually 4 to 6 members data scientists, and there are some data engineers who typically work outside this project and they'll give you data and stuff. Working in a team is a skill by itself, and if you haven't done it, it actually becomes a bit of challenging for you to adapt. Is that's what the employers think. So I strongly suggest to work with the team. It's not just the hard skill you gather, right? Hard skill might be gathered if you're working alone. That's for sure because you do everything. but it's a soft skill you actually learn when you work in a team, which is more important for your career.
Yeah.
Okay, Zoom questions are done, and I pinged my LinkedIn in the Zoom for anyone who have question to me, or you want to have YouTube channels or whatever books recommendations. You can post me in LinkedIn. I'll send it across. I have a question from Anisha Sangoli from YouTube. So she's watching in YouTube right now. What is the level of DAX questions asked? Is it moderate level or difficult for uh, freshers?
Actually, I don't find it difficult. Like, yeah, as I mentioned, rather than concentrating on complex subjects, we'll just have to go through the basics so that we can. Actually, in the interviews, I think only the basic questions as last. Like when it comes to project related questions, they don't ask you how you coded it or what this piece of code works. They just asked how the algorithm works. Why did you work on the algorithm? So on the basic parts, I think we'll have to concentrate more rather than complex
Correct. So
things.
just to add to that, Anisha, so I don't think Impana faced any DAX question. DAX questions are usually data analysis expression questions. So it talks about how do you extract the data from the given things. You write expressions to extract information. Usually we don't get those kind of questions in interviews. If you're working from, let's say, if you're going for an interview which demands data extraction kind of work, then this question become relevant. So I suggest to just revise some of the DAX questions. That's always good. And even if someone asks a very difficult question you don't understand, let me tell you honestly, we don't really remember these expressions. We actually Google and find expressions and use it in the project. No one remembers it. Even if you say that, people should be happy. I'm at least happy if I'm an interviewer, because that's what we do, right? We don't remember all the expressions, but knowing the approach is important. I would say you have to brush it up. A question from Salman Faris from LinkedIn. Classes or project period? Okay, it's classes or the project period, which did you more perfect or confident? So okay, so I think I'll paraphrase the question. So what Salman is asking is that, did you enjoy the classes or the projects? What you think was perfect and what helped you in your confidence, theory or the projects? Yeah.
Actually, both help. In order to complete my projects, I'll have to I'll have to ensure that I attended my classes regularly and I was regular to the concepts and all. So I actually enjoyed both. Coming to the classes, it was more like sitting and studying. That's it. But coming to the project phase, like what all I studied in past 5 or 6 months, how I apply those practically into model building or into creating some projects that are useful. So that's the main task.
Right. So Salman, it's equally divided. Classes are about 4 months, and then projects about 3 to 4 months, right? And the placement service starts around sixth month, so it'll be middle of the phase three. What gives you confidence? It's actually both, as Impana says. If you don't get a good knowledge in the first conceptual period of first 4 months, you will be facing difficulty in your projects. And if you don't do the projects correctly, you might be theoretically sound, but without practical knowledge, it will be difficult to get the confidence and attend the interviews. A question from Tushar Patil from YouTube as well. Which resource is best for Python? Tushar, DataMites resources are really okay, really good. I mean, so we don't have to really worry about it. And as Impano said, ChatGPT is a fantastic tool for nowadays. You can even ask ChatGPT to formulate a Python question, give the answer. You can write a code and it can validate and tell you where is the code wrong and how it can be written better. If you want a structured Python, there is a book given as a part of DataMites course called as Python for Data Scientist. That is good enough. And for practicing, ChatGPT is actually good. So Python is not a difficult language. It requires time. That's all. So if you invest 2 to 3 hours a day and about 15 to 20 days, you get the basics. Another 15 to 20 days, you can actually get the intermediate level, which is good enough for data scientist. All right, so I have lots of questions. I have to pick some questions then now because we already touched 45 minutes. Question from YouTube again from Ravina Joshi. How did you get a remote job in US? Okay, it's not really relevant for this. Um, US, I think it's difficult nowadays, but there's a lots of requirements in UK, but I'm not sure about remote jobs. So I'll tell you, a lot of people are interested in remote job. I understand COVID has made us to work from home, which is cozy, right? Some people like it. But big companies will not give you remote jobs because data cannot go outside their infrastructure, right? So any big company you take, whether they are IT, banking, or finance, or even other retailers and stuff, no big company will actually give the data outside, which means work from home is usually not very standard work. Small startups or freelance jobs, yes, but that's a very limited number of jobs. So to answer for to you, Ravina, to my knowledge, this is becoming less and less. So you may not be able to get a job, remote job in USA. If you are in USA, yeah, it's a different story. Probably it may not be fully remote, it could be hybrid. Then yes, because a lot many companies are hybrid now. Couple of days you go to office, rest you can work from home. Data analyst is a different domain. Okay. I have a question from Yani Umit, YouTube. How many modules to complete for data engineer when complete? All right. So I think Impana did not do data engineer. Data engineer is again 3 to 4 months. So roughly 8 modules. Yani. So data engineer does not really dwell into your machine learning and AI and stuff. It goes more into data pipeline using Amazon, Azure, handling big data, Spark basics, and all of that. So it's more on the first part. It's more on the data engineering itself, right? And it is more technical as well. About 8 modules, you can get the syllabus. All right, that's all, I guess. All right. So thank you very much, Impana, for sharing
Thank
this knowledge. I appreciate all the people who are willingly coming forward to share their knowledge, because this session success story gives a lot of confidence to the others, especially someone like you, freshers, to start the job. Because there is a myth in the market, which I keep on telling. Many of our own data mine students are freshers getting placed, but still people believe that freshers don't get a job. that, so you have not just busted it, but you busted it with a margin of a very good package. So I appreciate that. And as a last message, Impana, what do you like to share to the learning community?
Yes, sir. I thank you everyone, especially the PAT team, and also I had great learning in classes. Also, the concepts were really very understandable while explaining. So I heartily thank you, DataMites, for the opportunity, like giving me the opportunity to share my story. And I also thank you all for joining today. And although I'm not a great advisor, I hope my tips would be useful for your future preparation in the interview. And I wish all of you the best of luck.
Wonderful. So you are a great advisor,
Thank
because
you.
your words will be more valuable for them, not mine, because you come from this background of fresher, cracked it. So your words are really inspiring to them. So Impana, thank you very much. As a last sentence, as I always say, is a stepping stone for you. So there'll be lots of learning. I'm sure you are a very good learner. You've proven
Yeah.
yourself, right? So I wish you all the best. Keep learning. Good luck with your career success. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Have a great weekend.